Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on Arrow Season 7. So we are now only just over 2 days away from the finale for Arrow Season 7, which will be the last real finale for the show, I guess. You know, by that I mean a finale for a full season. As next season will be a season with a reduction in episodes, that being down to 10. With at least one of them being one of the crossover episodes, a crossover, of course, being Crisis on Infinite Earths, which many believe to be the reason that Arrow will be wrapping up its story. But of course, this Season 7 finale should have a lot of interesting elements, both in the present day storyline as well as the flash forward storyline. And due to the finale containing both of those, it should be a non-stop finale in regards to action. You know, it's going to be quite packed. But in this video, we will be going over a few things, with the main thing being an interview with Beth Schwartz, the showrunner for Arrow this season, as she does go over some parts of the finale, especially the final parts of it. But of course, throughout the video, leave your opinions in the comment section down below, what you're looking forward to the most in this finale, and various things like that. And if you're going to enjoy it and are hyped for the finale, and what's going to happen, be sure to drop a like on the video to show your support. But as we should all know by now, Emily Bett Rickards, who plays Felicity on Arrow, announced about, a month or so ago that she would be leaving Arrow at the end of Season 7, which seemed like super weird to most of us, considering about a month before that, it was announced that Arrow would be ending after Season 8 with a reduced 10-episode season, as we did mention earlier. So why the hell would she leave only a fraction away from the ending of the series? And we did end up learning it was due to her taking up a theatre role, so okay. But Beth Schwartz did talk about Felicity's role in the finale this season, and this is what she said. I can't give away too much, but every time I watch the last 10 minutes of the finale, I cry every single time. I just wanted to honour her. She's been a really important character to the show, besides just having a huge fan base, to me personally. She's been one of my favourite characters, and I've been with her from the beginning. I wanted to make sure that we honoured her both in her relationship with Oliver, as well as her goals personally and the origin of Smoke Tech. Her wanting to do something in addition to being on Team Arrow. That was her own, so that was really important to me. Now, yeah, regardless of how you feel about Felicity, I think you all know what my feelings have been with her over the show. Sometimes she is written well, or was written well, and, well, at other times, not so well. But I think we can all agree that she has been a massive part of the show, so it is going to be really interesting to see how they wrap her story up, and then also set up Season 8 without her. She has been the female lead for the past, 4 seasons or so. So who will take over that role? I know there has been some anger from Felicity fans about a lack of setup or time spent on her departure, especially in relation to scenes with both Oliver as well as Diggle. But I think that really comes down to Emily giving the show like a late heads up and decision that she would be leaving the show. But there has been some like minor setup for her leaving, as we had her have that conversation with her friend Alina in the last episode. But even though she is leaving as a regular this season, this was said by Beth about Emily and Felicity. She is always welcome to come back, so I would be obviously more than happy to have her back next season. We definitely have that in mind, honouring the series and getting all of our favourites back. So by this I'm thinking, expect Felicity back in the series finale of Arrow, so episode 10 of next season, the final ever episode of Arrow. But outside of what Beth said herself, this is what TV Guide, the source for the interview, also decided to add in this piece. While we hate to say goodbye to Felicity, it's at least heartening to hear that the door is being kept wide open for her return. There is also good news on the Oliver front, since Schwartz said the Season 7 finale will finally reveal where he is in the flash forwards, or more accurately, why he doesn't seem to be around. So this should pique a lot of people's interests. Like, we are actually going to find out about the status of Oliver in this season's finale, but it will be interesting to see where that reveal comes from. The obvious answer is that it is revealed in, the flash forwards. Maybe Felicity is speaking to their daughter Mia, or something along those lines. That does seem like the most likely place for this information to be dropped and revealed and stuff like that. However, we now know that the Monitor will be in the Arrow finale. That was revealed a while ago, and he will be present at the birth of Mia, or at least be visiting Oliver around that time. And if you're wondering, it's basically that same scenario from the Star City 2040 episode when Felicity's giving birth to Mia. But as we know, Felicity is only a couple of months pregnant at this point, so she is still 6 to 7 months away from giving birth. So this could maybe mean that Monitor allows Oliver to move through time to visit the birth of his daughter, or we just time jump at the end of Season 7 to that day of birth for Mia. And that is when then Monitor visits Oliver, revisits and brings up the stuff that happened in the Elseworlds crossover, which is where we could find out specifically when Oliver is meant to possibly die. Like maybe he is meant to die before Mia is actually born, which is why, Monitor would take him through time to witness the birth of Mia, and that's why the scene is so emotional. I don't know. Like there is a few options that could come up around all of that, but feel free to let me know what you think is the more likely option out of all of that, or just put one of your own. But as Beth said, it's an emotional final 10 minutes, so it will be interesting to see what goes down exactly and if there's any doors left open for, future things with Felicity and Oliver. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, Felicity is the female lead on Arrow and has been in that role for the past, several seasons. However, before that, the lead female character on Arrow was that of, Laurel Lance, that being the Earth 1 version. But of course, she's gone now. We all know what happened in season 4. But with the show needing a new female lead for next season, the Earth 2 version of Laurel Lance is the obvious choice to take over that lead female role. Like, Dinah Drake's there, but Dinah is way too weak character-wise and a bit too inconsistent to take that role. I just don't think she's as interesting either. And as we know, Earth 2 Laurel will be back in the finale for this season in that new role in Mantle of Black Canary. After Felicity gave her Earth 1 Laurel suit, we see Laurel in not only the trailer for the finale, but also some of the promo images as well. And as we also saw in the flash forwards a few episodes ago, Laurel's there. She saves Mia, so she sticks around on Earth 1 when she comes back, or at least comes back to be there in the flash forwards as well. So it seems like the simple conclusion and logical conclusion to come to is that she will be the female focus for next season as we move into the wrapping up of the show completely. And it would feel fitting that, Oliver and Laurel are the male and female leads to end off the show, seeing that they started the show. But I'm sure they will set all that up in the finale if that is actually going to go down next season. I'm not saying Laurel and Oliver are going to be a couple. I'm just saying they're going to be the male lead and the female lead. Not shipping anything. Don't stab me in the comments, please. But in regards to connecting stuff from the present day to the future, the future stuff is going to continue next season, but they might wrap some stuff up this season in regards to all that future stuff with certain characters. But one thing that you'd think they would connect to the present day to the future stuff is stuff to do with Roy. Obviously, we know what's happened to Roy recently where, he died, was brought back by the Lazarus Pit, has that bloodlust, killed those 2 security guards, put Team Arrow in hot water and stuff like that. And we know that he's basically self-exiled himself on Lian Yu to, we learned that in the flash forwards early on this season. So you would have to think that that's where he goes at the end of this season. Like, they could do it next season where Roy is there, but you think they've sort of, been showing Roy struggle with it, so I'd be surprised if they kept it around for more episodes next season. But I don't know, it just seems maybe there's too much going on in this finale to really deal with that. I don't know. Roy going to Lian Yu, we're going to see it. It just matters whether it happens at the end of Arrow Season 7 or we see it at some point in Season 8. Let me know what you think. What would you rather see? Would you rather have more Roy in present day next season and then he goes to Lian Yu after that? Or would you rather him go at the end of this season? I don't know, let me know in the comments. But also in regards to the future, I'm expecting some deaths. I would be surprised if Felicity survived, and that mainly comes down to Emily Bett Ricard's leaving, because I don't know, they can easily explain the present day stuff. She goes to be in that cabin to stay safe with her daughter. That's an easy way to write Felicity off in the present day. So simple. In the future, it's a different story. We know what's going on with Felicity in the future. How do they simply write her out of the show without any interaction going forward? It's pretty hard. So that's why I think a death is probably the most likely thing to happen to Felicity. It'd be a big thing for Mia if they're going to they will keep her going, but that could be some sort of motivation for Mia going forward. So it seems like Felicity could die. Maybe Roy could die in the future as well. I think I'd rather Roy survive, but I think it matters if I don't think Roy would stick around just to be in the flash forwards like Colton Haynes. So I think if he's going to stick around in the future, he would also be in the present day as well. So there's a couple things that sort of weigh up or are weighed up in regards to what's going to happen with the future stuff. But I think Felicity will definitely die. And it maybe wouldn't surprise me if Renee died either. I think Dinah's sweet. I think she's safe. And I think Roy's probably safe. But if he is going to leave in the present day, then he might die in the finale as well. Or he might just go away in the finale as well. Maybe Dinah's the only character that sticks around along with Laurel. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the future. And in regards to cliffhangers for this season, I think the cliffhanger in the present day will probably just be around that monitor stuff. I don't think there'll be too much. Maybe there might be an unexpected thing or something that's not finalized. Maybe 15 minutes to go in the episode around maybe the Ninth Circle and Emiko and stuff like that. But I think the big cliffhanger in regards to the present day will be something around the monitor scene. And then we might get a future cliffhanger as well. Don't know what the future cliffhanger could be. Maybe it's another character from the present day showing up. Don't know who that could be. Personally, don't really have too much of an idea. If you have any ideas, let me know. Maybe it's it wouldn't be Thea. I know I bothered mentioning that, but who knows? Maybe another, character we are familiar with in present day does show up at the end in the future to set up a cliffhanger for next season. What happens there? Maybe it's Oliver. Maybe he shows up in the future. Who knows? There's your little twist. Maybe it's Oliver that shows up in the future. He isn't dead. He's alive. What the hell? There's the big cliffhanger. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on what we went over in this video. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.